She just loves being here, just being herself, just being open and free.
Got to hyper focus on that or it could be a little bit dangerous.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's a really good one.
Welcome to the Manchester Local Offer podcast. You'll get to hear what's new and going on at the local offer, real people's experiences using the services, and what more is out there that you may have missed. Hi, I'm Caprice, one of your hosts today. I'm a content creator and digital designer at Sencode.
Hi, I'm Charles. I'm an intern at Digital Independence Specialist College.
In this episode, we'll be interviewing a range of services that local offer has to offer, starting with Tristan, Daisy, and Malika about the MCR Social. Finally, we'll be following Beck to the Manchester Bees Forest Schools. He'll be interviewing some staff and families. We were lucky to have the guys from MCR Social come down to us and film in the Sencode podcast room. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Hi, my name's Tristan, and I'm a programme coordinator with youth charity GMYN, Greater Manchester Youth Network, with the Disability and Neurodivergence team, and I coordinate the programme Manchester Social.
Hi, my name is Malika. I go to high school and I go to Manchester Social.
Hi, my name is Daisy and I am a volunteer with Manchester Social.
So, Tristan, why do you feel MCR needed to be created?
We know that disabled and neurodivergent people, including young people, have fewer opportunities to access fun social activities. So Manchester Social is trying to sort of help with that a little bit. We know that this can have lots of knock-on impacts as with your well-being, with your mental health, as well as opportunities to kind of meet people, make friends, build communities, and so on. Things that are really, really important in life. So Manchester Social is trying to help address this in whatever way that we can.
In what ways does MCR Social help disabled and neurodivergent young people?
So we're always reviewing to try and make things better. At the minute, the model is a calendar model where we have activities available to view in advance so that young people can choose to look through them and book onto whatever activities they want to do. We provide as much information as possible ahead of activities. So like the timetable. Group size is a really important one so that, if people feel more comfortable with smaller groups or if they prefer to join larger groups, that will be sort of clear ahead of choosing to do the session. We also provide staff so that there's people. This was the number one request that we got when we reviewed young people over the summer, was that they wanted lots of support, guidance, and someone there to sort of help with leading the session, providing structure, telling people where to go, what to do, and that sort of thing, and giving some guidance. So we make sure there's enough staff and volunteers there to support. And we also work with lots of venues to try and make the venues themselves a bit better, a bit more accessible. So lots of the venues we work with will maybe open up a bit earlier so that we've got the place to ourselves. Or if it is open to the public, we'll be at quiet times where they can do things like turn the volume down or turn the lights down a little bit for us. And we can have sectioned out areas for ourselves with a chill out zone book so that people can, go to sort of relax by themselves for a couple of minutes. So these are the kind of the ways that we're trying to make it inclusive and accessible right now. And we're always looking to keep learning, keep developing the model.
Malika, what are your favourite activities you do through MCR Social?
My favourite is, for example, going to shopping trips with the volunteers or them taking me to the theatre or watching movies. Yeah.
So, Daisy, you were also part of MCR Social at one point. What were your favourite activities that you did?
So as a volunteer with MCR Social, I started out by going along to a basketball activity centre where basically a number of young people would come together and we would play basketball or other games. I'm pretty sure there was football as well, and there was table tennis, there was all sorts.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then since then I've also been attending the monthly, I'm not sure what you're calling it, Tristan, but it's a collection
like a social,
of... Yeah. There's different stations in a room. There's a craft station and there's a sports bit and there's video games. And yeah, it's always really fun. It's just a good time. A lot of people come together for it.
And what new things have you learnt through MCR Social?
I learned how to maybe communicate with new people, learn how to have conversations with different people, and yeah.
That's a good thing to learn.
That's awesome.
I guess what I have learned from volunteering with MCR Social is probably the amount of stuff that's going on in a community at all times that is not on the surface. Which is, it's really nice to see a lot of things that I might not have been aware of, like a lot of the socials and activities that are going on.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Also, probably how to play some video games that I'd never played before. I've probably learnt that as well.
Any faves?
I think someone last time was playing the Old Goose Game.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's a really
That's
good
a good
one.
one.
I was enjoying that one.
I love that one. Have you played that one?
No.
It's so silly. It's just like just a goose. Just a goose waddling around.
Yeah.
How does MCR Social differ from traditional youth centres?
I think the main way is that obviously a youth centre is a bit like a one-stop shop for loads of different activities. I've been to some like really cool ones in Gorton and Harper Hay where they had like everything under one roof, which was really cool. So there's definitely like a lot of value in that. I think a lot of what Manchester Social wants to do is to make Manchester and lots of different venues more accessible. So instead of having lots going on in one place, it's kind of traveling around and going to lots of different places and then kind of trying to, work with those venues to see what the barriers are, how we could reduce them, and, making the city itself across as many different places as we can accessible, I think would be the main difference to me. I don't know. What do you think?
So this is about it being different from traditional youth centres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that it does because it feels a bit more like the young people are sort of at the centre. I feel like because it's more what are they wanting and what are they looking for rather than just go in that room and entertain yourselves. It's like there's a lot of engagement. I feel.
Like you bring the activity to us.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
What's the best way to get involved with MCR Social?
So the best way is to sign up to the local offer newsletter where there'll be a link that you can follow to register for Manchester Social.
Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
To find out when the MCR Social events are on, head over to the local offer website and subscribe to the newsletter.
I mean, personally, I really liked hearing about Malika and Daisy's experience with the MCR Social and how impactful, and how much it meant to them. It was like really nice, and it was like it was really, really nice.
It's also so important that MCR Social is aware of its community because they book accessible and SEND-friendly venues, and I love hearing that as a wheelchair user. I'm glad that they welcome all kinds of disabilities and everybody.
Finally, Beck and the crew made their way back to Manchester B's Forest School.
Hello, I'm Beck and I'm here with Sean, and she is going to tell you all about her offer from the local offer.
Thank you. Welcome to the Beswick Hive. Our offer is we host forest school experiences, which is a form of outdoor education and play in community gardens. So our aim is to bring a forest school experience which typically would be in a woodland really far from city centres. We aim to bring that experience to Manchester children who might struggle to get to a woodland. Okay. So we host these at the moment for the local offer in the garden of the East Manchester Academy School and Plattfields Market Garden in Fallowfield. So I have been working on Manchester Bees this is our 4th year now actually, so this is our 4th school year, so 3.5 years or so, and often in partnership with Manchester Urban Diggers Mud, who you might know them through their garden at Plattfields Market Garden. They have lots of community gardens around Greater Manchester, but these are 2 of the flagship ones.
It seems like it's good. I don't really go outdoors because the outdoors isn't made for people like me, but it seems like it's good for the kids to experience. Why do you think being outdoors and experiencing this, what kind of skills do they gain from coming here to the forest?
That's a great question, Beck. And I'm sorry that you feel like the outdoors is not for you as a wheelchair user. I imagine that's why you said that. Yes. Or do you mean something different?
No, that's what I meant.
So you would be surprised. So we have maybe 3 regular young people who are wheelchair users from they're kind of about 9 to 16, those young people. So we've had a range of different types of wheelchairs use this space and Blackfields Market Garden. So I hope that we're trying to change that. What we've been trying to do to make things more physically accessible is let people know what the terrain is. So we feel that we should let people know it's wood chip, in different weather conditions, the space changes. We try our best to make it physically accessible. But there are other accessibility barriers, I feel. So even just being city kids, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Manchester children and young people have not had many outdoor experiences other than perhaps city parks. So what we're trying to do is kind of say, let's play with what we've got in Manchester, and we've got some great city parks and school gardens. We can do pop-up things, but it's kind of giving children and young people an early experience, scoping out some of the sensory side of what it means to play outside. So my goal is to introduce young people to the idea that you don't have to have a specific toy for a specific game. I try and provide really open-ended toys. Some of the children that you'll meet today are neurodivergent, and I would say probably 70% of the families that visit have a neurodivergent child. So everybody is welcome to them, irrespective of disability status.
Wonderful. I want to thank you so much, Sean, for letting us come into this amazing space and explore the Forest School and showing us around and interviewing some of your children that are obviously learning these life skills. I appreciate you giving us an interview, and that everyone needs to go and follow the Manchester Bees on Instagram and check out your Eventbrite page. So thank you for letting us spend the day with you in your Forest School. It's been lovely.
You are so, so welcome. Thanks for coming down. Should we start the fire and get the marshmallows on?
Yes.
Yeah?
And we're interviewing another person they're a parent who are going to tell you their experience about using the Manchester Bees service.
Hello, my name's Christina. I'm a mother of 3 twin girls and a little toddler, and I'm from North Manchester, Harper Hay.
Wonderful. And how long have you been using the Manchester Bees Forest School project?
Yeah, so I have been using it for 2 years. We first started at different forest school, and we had to travel to that one to visit the Bees Forest School, but now we've got one more local in North Manchester, which is very much needed in the area. So we've been coming to this one since Easter, and last Easter we planted some seeds, and over the summer we've seen those seeds grow. We planted beans, and then the girls could harvest those beans and have them with their dinner.
What would you say people that are on the edge and maybe want to get involved with something like this, would you advise them to get involved with Manchester Bees?
These sessions are drop in and out, so you don't have to come at 10 and stay till 3. You can come whatever time of day you want. Just give yourself an hour to come, explore, and if you want to stay longer, then do that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So we found Manchester Bees because one of my child is SEND needs at school, and I signed up to the newsletter, the Manchester newsletter, and that's how I found out about Manchester Bees, because that was in the newsletter.
And we're talking to her children who I've not met yet, but they're going to introduce themselves very shortly. What's your name?
My name's Desiree. My name is Esme.
Esme. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Desiree.
Desiree and Esme, that's lovely names. And what have you been doing here today at the Forest School?
I've been playing with clay, and I tried to make a boat out of wood and nails and stuff like that, but it didn't really go so well.
Oh no, what went wrong?
Well, I just couldn't do it because I tried to, there was this long piece and I put a nail, but then I realised it wasn't going to go all the way to the wood.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Are you still having fun though?
Yes.
We're interviewing another parent. Just going to introduce yourself, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions, so take it away.
Hi, so I'm Steffi. I live in Moston in North Manchester, and I'm a mum of 6 children.
Mum of 6 children, and out of those 6 children, how many children currently attend the Manchester Bees Forest?
Today I've brought our 3 youngest children with me, Lottie, Arthur and Lisbeth.
Oh, wonderful. And have you been coming here recently, or is this a new thing?
This is my first time today. My friend Christina has been attending for past 2 years, and she told me all about it, and so I thought I'm going to give it a try today.
So I just wanted to know how, obviously you found out about this today through your friend Christina, who we spoke to earlier, but I wondered if there's any other ways you find activities for your children.
Well, social media is really good. So Facebook is usually where I find out about holiday activities. And I get the local email.
Okay.
I think it's a weekly one or monthly, I'm not really sure. But I get that. So all the offers because my Arthur is autistic, so I get all the SEND activities for him on this newsletter.
Well, I think that's everything. Thank you so much, Steffi,
Thanks,
for talking
Beck.
to me, and thank you for bringing your children to this lovely project.
Thank you.
Well, what a visit that has been to the Manchester Bees Forest School. I've got to say, I'm very impressed at what they're doing here. We interviewed Sian, the lady who runs this, and she's doing amazing things with the kids. As you can see in the background, the kids are still playing, still having fun. They're using life skills and being creative and exploring the outdoors. So Manchester Bees Forest School is absolutely amazing. We heard this directly from the parents, so we know it has an impact. But for now, that's all done here. Goodbye.
But yeah, it is really amazing how Manchester Bees are able to make forest schools like really accessible and like make sessions that are like close to Manchester Centre.
And hearing the girls' experiences and what they did is so wonderful. I love that the forest school makes young people be more creative and find ways to play in any environment. Thanks to everyone who took part in this episode. Thank you to Beck and the crew for heading out to the forest school. A big thank you to everyone we interviewed from MCR Social, the Manchester Bee Forest School. We're looking forward to bringing you more in the future. If you have any send opportunities or services you'd like us to cover, don't be afraid to get in touch.